all to picture this. It's the 4th of July. Where do you see yourself? Maybe at a barbecue, a pool party, watching the fireworks with friends and family, or maybe you're a whopping 5 minutes from your house at a dimly lit restaurant with your mom, dad, and your brother. Well, that was me about 2 summers ago, as I took a break from my college applications and summer assignments to have a nice Independence Day dinner with my family. It was a break from our usual tradition of celebrating at my aunt's beach house, which we did every year before, and instead of eating a buttery lobster while watching the fireworks with my cousins, I was ordering a plate of California rolls. Now I'm going to be telling you a story about how this simple, not so traditional dinner ended up shifting my mindset entirely, and it was all because of a cookie. So I wolfed down my meal as fast as I could. I practically inhaled 9 California rolls so we could get to my favorite part, the fortune cookies. Now, everyone finally caught up to me. The cookies were placed on the middle of the table, and as per the Ziegenbein family rules, we each picked one up and passed it to someone else. We went around the table, opening them, reading our fortunes, but when it came to me, there was a slight problem. My cookie was empty. There was no fortune inside. Now, for me, this was catastrophic. If you know me, many of you are getting to know me, I guess. And if you're in my group, you definitely know that I like to have a plan. I like to know what's next at all times, and I like to know what to expect. So you can see why not getting a fortune might have been a problem for me. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm also a sucker for a good Zoltar card, fortune, horoscope, can pretty much apply it to any aspect of my life without even trying. So not getting a fortune was something I was struggling to interpret. I was about ready to brush it off when I looked at my dad across the table, who might have been even more stressed about it than I was. He was practically flagging down the waitress to get a new cookie because this one had to have been a dud. Well, the cookie finally came, and I stared at the cookie, my family stared at me, intently waiting to see what this tiny rectangular paper of prognostication would bestow upon me. So I opened the cookie expecting something cheesy, not so new, but it ended up being pretty surprising. It said, "Oops, wrong cookie." Now I was really freaked out because it turns out whatever higher power that governs over the fortune cookies of the world was not messing around the first time. So I tried to interpret this, and you might not believe in fortunes, but to me this was a turning point. As someone who tends to fear the unknown and need a constant plan for everything, I realized that this cookie was telling me to maybe start making my own choices, to determine my own path, determine my own future, and stop trusting someone else's gut over mine. And it was particularly timely because I was a junior in high school, I was doing standardized testing, I was doing college applications, I was trying to improve my resume academically, athletically. I was being told I need to do clubs, I need to join school activities, but I wasn't really paying attention to things that I wanted to do. And for some context, when I was in middle school, I was part of a class that visited a senior home once a week. I always looked forward to this class, and I missed it every day afterwards, and it was something I always wanted to go back and do. But because I was so caught up in other people's expectations and the pressures of moving into high school, I felt like I didn't have time for it, and I ended up not really getting around to it. But then this cookie came, and it was a revelation. I was realizing I need to start deciding my own things. I need to prioritize what's important to me. And that's when I made the best decision of my life. I went back to this senior home every Tuesday for the past 2 summers, and that's when I met my 94-year-old best friend, Millie. I spent every Tuesday in the summer eating ice cream with her, talking about life, sharing the juiciest gossip of the senior home. And none of this would have been possible if I'd stuck to my own values. And I'm thankful for this cookie because it told me to start carving a new path. When I used to value security and the comfort of my plans, I learned to start valuing self-agency and valuing the power that I have to do the things that I love. I've started spending more time doing things that I enjoy and that I find meaning in, and not what other people pressure me to do or tell me is the right path. And I've started to live by this and strive for it every day. As the Roman historian Sallust said, Every man is the architect of his own fortune. Thank you.
Okay. Idea. It's just too mechanical,
Okay.
I guess, is the way it looked. You're also playing with your cards a little bit too much with your hands. Yeah, you don't need to do that. Other than that, everything looked good. The weakest part's the conclusion. And the reason is because I didn't know when you were getting into it. I didn't hear the transition. I didn't hear a summary. The twist was great. That was really, really good. I just want you to make it really clear how you're getting there.
But then I went way off track and I didn't know how to get back around to it.
Okay, all right. So if you have it, okay, then if that's the weakest point, then I don't think it's gonna be much for your next one to wrap that up. So, other than that though, I liked it. You did a great job with this fun story. And, I like the bacon cookie. That's just the funniest thing ever. Well, I've learned a lesson